Good morning.
Morning.
James Cooper from Sky. We've had various incarnations since you've been in England. You've been the special one. You've been the happy one. What does Manchester make you?
I don't know. Really. The other two times I was arriving at the country. This is a different one. I was sacked by Chelsea, and then I stayed in the same country, in the same competition, with the same faces in front of me, basically. So it's nothing new for me, really. It's just arrive into a club that is difficult to describe. It's difficult to find the right words to describe this club. I don't like the denomination that many times people use, is the dream job. This is not a dream job. This is reality. I am Man United manager. But the reality is that I think it's a job that everyone wants, and not many had a chance to have. And I have it, and I know obviously the responsibility, I know the expectation. At the same time, I know the legacy. I know what is behind me. I know the history of this club. I know what the fans they expect from me, and I think this challenge obviously doesn't make me nervous, because my history in the last 10 years or more was always to live with big clubs' expectations. And I think it comes in the right moment of my career, where I feel obviously very well prepared, very stable, and with a great motivation. I can say that I am where I want to be. I want to be in this club. I want to be in this country. I want to be in the Premier League and in the domestic cups. I feel a bit frustrated that I'm not playing Champions League. I don't hide that I chase Sir Alex records in the Champions League number of matches as a manager. I am around 130 matches, a little bit more, a little bit less, and hopefully it's only one season that we are not there. And when I say we, obviously the club is much more important than myself, and Man United is a Champions League club, and we have to make sure that July 2017, instead of waiting for the Europa League playoffs and then the group draw, we have to make sure that this club is where it has to be, which is obviously the Champions League.
Jose, Simon Stone, BBC. The reality of Manchester United is that the last 3 years they've finished 7th, 4th and 5th. You said in your statement to forget about the last 3 years. Realistically, what is the aim this season? Is the aim to compete, or is the aim to win these big trophies?
Depends on. I think depends on the way you want to face it. I was never very good playing with the words and playing with or hiding behind words and hiding behind philosophies. I was never good on that. In fact, I never tried to be good on that. I was always much more aggressive in my approach, with the risks that obviously can bring, and would be easy and even honest and pragmatic from my side to focus on the last 3 years, to focus on the fact that we don't qualify for Champions League and so on, and would be quite pragmatic to say that let's work and let's try to be back to the Champions League. Let's try to be back to the top four. Let's try to do well in the Europa League. I'm not good on that, and I don't want to be good. I prefer to be more aggressive, and to be more aggressive is to say that we want to win. We want to win, and probably I can anticipate that any one of you would come later with a question about style of play and what is before is the result or the style of play. I can imagine that one of these questions is around the corner, and I can anticipate by saying you can win a short competition, you can win a couple of matches without playing well, but you cannot win competitions without playing well. What is playing well? Playing well is score more goals than the opponent, is to concede less goals than the opponent, is to make your fans proud because you give absolutely everything, is to make your fans proud because you win. So we want everything at the same time. And again, it's an aggressive approach by myself. I want everything. I want to win matches. I want to play well. I want to play young players. I want to score goals. I don't want to concede goals. I want the fans to be behind us because in the last 10 minutes we are chasing a result. I want the fans behind us because in the last 10 minutes we are defending a result. I want everything. Of course, we are not going to get everything, of course, but we want to.
Jose Martin, Sammy of the Daily Mail. I've read an interview with you a number of years ago in which you seem to say that you liked big players with a point to prove, and that was one of the things that appealed to you about some of the signings you'd made, some of the players that you inherited. Do you fit that category now of being a big player with a point to prove?
Can you repeat, Martin, please?
Yeah, that of being a big player, a big success, someone who's been successful throughout his career, but now also has a point to prove after what happened last season.
You know, there are some managers that the last time they won a title was 10 years ago. Some of them, the last time they won a title was never. The last time I won a title was 1 year ago. It was not 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was 1 year ago. So if I have a lot to prove, imagine the others. But the reality is that that was never important for me. You know, I play against myself. That's my feeling many times. I feel that I have to prove not to the others. I have to prove to myself. Is my nature. I would never be able to work without success. You know, that's my nature. I have always to find the reasons why I have always many questions towards myself and towards the people that is working with me. Is my nature. That's why I could approach this job in a defensive point of view by saying, yes, the last 3 years, yes, the best we did was fourth, the best we did was a FA Cup. I could go into that side. I can't go. Is my nature. And we used to say in big clubs, and I work in some big clubs before. Obviously, Man United, by the social point of view, is a complete different dimension. But the reality is that people, when people has year after year a certain kind of menu, you change the menu. You have to change for better, not for worse. And Man United fans for so many years, success was just routine. And in this moment, the last 3 years are 3 years to forget. 3 years that I want to forget. I don't want the players to start the season by thinking we have to do better. What is to do better? To do better is to finish fourth. To finish fourth is not the aim. And this is what I do with myself. I'm 53. I'm not 63 or 73. Maybe you are tired of myself because I started so early at the highest level. But I'm 53. I'm a very young manager. If I have this approach of not try to prove to myself, not try to prove to the others, not going for big challenges, then I am in trouble. But the reality is that I was in trouble for the last 5 months. Was when I was in trouble. The first month was fine. The second month was not so good, and after the second month was a disaster.
Jose, Ian Irving from Premier League Productions. You've already begun to make your mark on this squad. How many more changes do you think you need to make?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think the third player is already official, or not yet? No. So the third player will be official when? Soon. And I can try to make you understand the profile. We made the nucleus of 4 priorities, 4 positions, priorities, to give a certain balance to the squad, to give a certain push in terms of quality and in terms of the qualities that I need, that I want. As you know, especially the ones with more vision. As you know, I'm more a manager that likes specialists and not so much the multifunctional players, because I am very clear in my approach, in my model of play. So I need specialists for that, and not multifunctional players. Multifunctional players are like 1 or 2, because when you are in trouble during the season, you always need 1 or 2 guys that they can fill the space where you are in trouble. If you have 3 central defenders injured or suspended, you need some left back or some midfield player that can give you a hand. But basically I want specialists, and we decided 4 targets. From these 4 we have 2 or 3?
2 at the moment.
3, we have 3. And until we don't have the 4th, we are still working hard. Myself, the structure, Mr. Woodward, the owners, we are working hard on that. When we have the 4th, I breathe, we all breathe, and then the market will be open, because we are not going to get the 4th on the 31st of August, no way. We are going to get the 4th before that, and then we are stable. But the market will be open. There is something that for me is very, very important, which is the players that I keep, they are all happy. So you never know what can happen after that. Imagine first match, I don't select somebody gets disappointed, somebody has the chance to go to another club, somebody is feeling that is not going to be fundamental, somebody decides that he wants to leave, we agreed to leave. If somebody leaves, somebody has to come in. So there is a fundamental market, and there is an additional, you say that, no? Additional market, supplementary market. When we finish the fundamental, I repeat, I breathe. And then let's see what happened. But we are doing well. We are getting the players we want, and now we have the 3rd, and hopefully we will have the 4th.
Jose, Neil Custis from The Sun. How big is the challenge that's right on your doorstep in terms of Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, and how excited are you about taking him on again as you did in Spain?
You know, I think Leicester legacy was not just the happiness around the country and the smile in all of our faces with what they did last year. The legacy from them is also the fact that from now on we are in a competition where 20 teams are fighting for the title. That's the legacy. Next season, if you have another team that win the first 5 matches, you will consider that team, doesn't matter who they are, you will consider them candidates. Is over the time where you say, oh, these guys are doing very well, but in December they will collapse. In this moment, that collapse words, Leicester, they kill it, they kill it. And to speak about one manager, one club, one, I don't like the word, but one enemy. I hate the words in football and in life. I don't think is right in this country. One thing is you are in a competition like I was in Spain, which was a 2 horses race. Now it's become 3, but at that time was just 2. Or when I was in Italy, was 3 teams fighting for the title. Then makes sense that kind of approach. In the Premier League doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all, because if you focus too much in one team, in one opponent, the other ones will be laughing. The other ones will be so happy with that. So I'm not going to be part of it. I'm Man Utd a manager, with all the respect to all the other clubs in the country, especially one that was my house for 7 years, and I share so many incredible moments with their fans. I have to say that I'm the manager of the biggest club in the UK, so I don't have to be looking to the others so much, and I'm going to focus on ourselves and in our job. So I have the same respect for every club, every manager, every opponent, and thanks a lot to what Leicester did, because it's one of their legacies is to change forever the profile of the competition.
Jose, Don McGuinness talks sport. If I could just ask you, obviously Ryan Giggs has now left the club, but one of the things that's always been labelled at you is that you don't promote youth players. Ryan Giggs is very much the epitome of Manchester United promoting local young players. Is that something that you feel you will get your head around, the culture of United and that emphasis on young players?
First of all, let me ask Karen. Oh, how long we have? How many minutes we have?
Long time.
In the press conference?
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. I have no time to answer it. Because to answer your question, I will take 10 minutes.
Just a couple of minutes, sir.
Just a couple of minutes? I knew it, that was coming. Okay. Do you know how many young players I promote to the first team from academies? 49. Do you want to know who they are? You don't want to know who they are. 49. 49. If you want, or if any one of you is interested, I can give you that. I promote 49 players from the academies, from the clubs, and with 2 factors that are very important on these records. Because sometimes you promote players because you don't have another chance, because you have so many injuries that you don't have another chance, you don't have another choice. You have to bring up the players from the academy because you have lots of players that are injured. That is one factor. And the second factor is when you are not playing for big targets, it's also easier to bring them up outside the pressure of the big moments. My record of injuries is very, very low. Very, very low. Even in many years, from the UEFA Champions League studies about every team, my teams, there were many times the teams with less injuries in the whole Europe. So I never promote players because of a need. I did it because of conviction and decision. And the second factor is that last year was the only season of my career that I was not fighting for the title. Because in every other season, winning or finish second or even third, I finished third once, I was fighting for the title until the last moment. So was never a situation of stability and no pressure to promote young players. I did 49. And some of them, we are speaking about big names. We are speaking about players that today, for example, they are Champions League winners. Players that are in the Euro. Players that are playing for national teams. And 49 is a lot. So once more, one lie repeated many times. Sometimes it looks that is true, but will be always a lie. So for many, many times, many of you, with intention, without intention, that's not the point, I don't care about it, but it was not true. 49, and if you want the names, I give you the names. That's no problem for me to prove you that I'm speaking right. And about Ryan, let me finish with it, because I want to make it clear. I never run away about my responsibilities, but the reality is that it's not my responsibility that Ryan is not in the club. The job Ryan wanted is the job that the club decided to give me. It's not my fault. Ryan wanted to be Man United manager, and the club, for the reasons that only the club, the owners, Mr. Woodward, the board, they can tell you, they decide that the job was for me. From this moment, Ryan wants to be a manager, like 14 years ago, or I don't know when it was, 2000, so 16 years ago, I decide myself I want to be a manager. For many of us, coaches, we start as assistant coaches, and for many of us arrives a moment where we make a decision, and Ryan make his decision. So when you were speaking about did I offer him a job, could he be my assistant, it could be what he want in the club. The club wanted to give him any job, any important job in the club. He made a decision where you need to be brave, because it's not easy. It happened with myself. I was in Barcelona in 2000. I had a contract for 2 more years to be assistant. Do you think it was easy for me to leave such a big club, such good stability, and decide let's go to a new fight? It was not easy. And for Ryan, it's not just the step of going from assistant manager to manager, it's also the step of leave his house. 29 years is not 29 days, so he was brave, he was honest. So good luck. And if one day he wants to be back to the club while I'm here, I will never stop him to be back. I will always say yes if the club asks my opinion, and if one day the club offers him the chance to become the manager, I think will be something natural and consequence of his success in his managerial career.
Okay, last 2 questions, one there and one there.
Jose, Paul Hurst from the Times. Just wondering, can you tell us what kind of advice Sir Alex Ferguson has given you since you took the job, and will you be talking to him over the course of the season to get more advice?
Yeah, bring the umbrella. And yesterday I couldn't believe that was raining in the training ground, so was a great advice. And the second advice was to bring my typical bottle of wine, because now we are going to have many occasions to be together. In this moment, Sir Alex is on a bit of a holiday, on a bit of the Euros, so I cannot see him this week. But when some holidays are finished, I will be based in Manchester. He's the same. We will have lots of time to meet each other. He will be always welcome to the training ground, obviously, and we will have time to share a lot of our personal stuff, friends, family, life. But obviously, his opinion is an important opinion for me. The same way, so many legends in this club, they love the club, and some of them they are in the pundits industry in these moments. So every opinion will be important for me. Agreeing, not agreeing, but people that loves the club and has a big connection with the club will be always respected by myself, and I will always give a look to try to learn from them what they can teach me.
Okay, guys, last question.
Jose, Mark Ogden, Independent. You mentioned before about wanting specialists and not multifunctional players. Where do you see Wayne Rooney next season? Is he a striker or is he a midfielder?
Where are you, my friend?
I'm here.
I'm sorry, yeah. You know, I think in football there are many jobs. There are many jobs on the field. I think the one that is more difficult to find is the guy that puts the ball in the net. And obviously the players, they change during the years. Their qualities, their characteristics, they change during the years. It's normal that a player at this age change a little bit. But there is something that will never change, which is the appetite, the natural appetite to put the ball in the net. So maybe he's not a striker anymore, maybe he's not a number 9 anymore, but with me he will be never a number 6. He will be never somebody playing 50 meters away from the goal. You can tell me his pass is amazing. Yes, his pass is amazing, but my pass is also amazing without pressure. There are many players with a great pass, but to be there and to put the ball in the net is the most difficult thing you have to find. So for me, he will be a 9, he will be a 10, he will be a 9.5, but not a 6, not even a 8.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you guys, see you soon.